has taught me the basics. From the basics, I kind of taught myself most of what I know today. I have taken a few small classes to learn a few things. Hand engraving, I took a class to learn that. I met an old school jeweler who kind of taught me a few tricks. Slowly, I've been making sellable pieces for the last 8 years now. And then when I took an interest in My Little Pony a year and a half ago, I became a Brony in February of 2011. In 2011, I became a closet Brony. I did not want to admit to anyone, not even myself, that I was a Brony. About after 6 months into the fandom, I started really taking a look at the art side of the community, the artists, the plushie makers, the craftsmen, and it really inspired me. And I actually was thinking to myself, well, what can I do for the fandom? I had no idea. I considered art, digital art, that I remembered I'm not good at it. I tried a Tumblr account, that got me nowhere. Then around July, I was sitting there kind of in a depressed state going, there is absolutely nothing I can do for this fandom. Nothing at all. And then it hit me. I can make jewelry. I was like, I'm pretty certain no one's doing this yet. I Googled My Little Pony jewelry. I found a pendant. Somebody stuck a corkscrew into an Applejack toy's head, hung it on a necklace, and called it a pendant. I said, God. Yeah, all right. I saw some, mass-produced dog tags. I saw some toy jewelry. I saw something Barbie related. I don't know how that got in my Google search. I don't even think Barbie's Hasbro. No, they're not.
Well, they're Mattel.
I don't know how that happened. I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I am pretty excited about this. That was July 5th, I believe. And shortly after that, I went to the schooling to learn how to do the hand engraving. And it was actually during that time I was putting all this together. I was in a hotel room in a small town in Kansas when I created the DeviantArt account, ChaoticBrony. And every day I was learning how to hand engrave. Every night I was going home, sketching up designs, coming up with new things to do. And as soon as we got home, the very first thing I did the next day was I sat down on my workbench and made the very first piece I ever made, which was that Rainbow Dash cutie mark pendant, the very first one you can see in my gallery. I thought it looked all right. I was a little nervous at first until it sold a week later, and then I was hooked. I was like, people like my stuff. I said, maybe this thing's a little promising. I am getting a little more enthusiastic. I never really expected it to get this far. In fact, I really did expect it just to kind of fizzle out within a few weeks' time. And in fact, after about a month, even after my first couple sales, I considered just saying, this isn't worth it. I don't think I'm going anywhere with this. Until, I guess I could take Equestria Daily when they featured my Mare and the Moon ring. And it just kind of went from there. Pretty much sums up how he isn't. Go down. So that pretty much explains how I got into this whole thing. Pretty much when I make my jewelry, it always starts off as an idea. Most of my inspiration comes from their cutie marks. I'm always inspired by the cutie marks. I'm always looking at them visually, taking it apart in my mind, kind of reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is actually one of my favorite types of designing. I could take just about anything, and I can take it apart, and I can determine in my mind, okay, 4 different pieces, 3 circles, and a back plate. And I can just put it together and take it apart in my mind. I pick up the metals in my mind. More often than not, my designs don't require gemstones. I would actually love to do more of that.
It's really funny when he's on Skype and we send him pictures. I could make that, and you hear him just riddling off medals and design numbers. And it's even though I don't fully understand what he's saying, I understand enough to where it's really cool to hear someone actually go, I could take this out and etch that out there, and then this becomes this, and there's that medal here. It's pretty cool.
And, usually, most of my hand designing work requires basic tools. Jeweler's saw, which is a saw blade that has a saw blade the size of a human hair on it. I'm not kidding. It is a small little blade, very sharp though, easy to break. A hand torch, which is actually my favorite tool. I love playing with fire. I get burnt all the time. It hurts. Proof in the hands. And I always tell people, whether they're part of the Brony community or just customers of my father's jewelry store, if a jeweler's hands doesn't look like this, he's not a jeweler. He's a salesman who claims to be a jeweler. There's a big difference. I've always been really.
Resolved is maybe the word?
Yeah. Did they have a thing called Panel 101? I should have taken that. And I just turned my mic off. How long has my mic been off for?
I don't know, but isn't that why you asked me to help you?
Yeah, and you did not point out to me that my mic was off.
You said this was your panel. So I just kind of was like,
Touche.
I'm just following orders.
Why don't we go ahead and, since I'm losing my train of thought here, because I didn't rehearse this, I just figured, I'll wing it, what's the worst that can happen? Why don't we kind of go ahead and move into the Q&A? Do you think it's too early for that?
No, we're not.
All right.
There's plenty of questions.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move into the Q&A. Does anyone have any questions for me? Much better at that. Let's start with you in the back with the Dr. Seuss hat.
All right. How hard is it to engrave gold? Do you have any gold engravings? So like, how hard is it to engrave brass or bronze compared to stone and silver?
Pretty much how hard is it to engrave every metal?
Yes.
All right, well, the hardest metal to engrave is stainless steel. It's actually very hard. I chip my tool when I'm hand engraving all the time. Brass and gold are about the same. So is copper, but I hardly ever use copper. Pewter is very, very, very easy to engrave. In fact, too easy. I determine I can't even work with pewter. Emily Jones, ladies and gentlemen. I would say if I had to put it on a low scale from hardest to easiest to engrave, I'd probably go from everything I have engraved. It would go stainless steel, anything that's nickel plated. Gold and brass are the same, silver, and then pewter, which I never do because it's way too soft. Any other?
Where did you take the classes to learn skills that a driller uses?
Where did I take the classes?
Where and what they were.
Okay. Believe it or not, all the classes I've taken were right in Kansas, where I'm from. I'm from Southwest Kansas, and then the class to learn how to hand engrave, which is actually the most sophisticated school in the world for hand engraving, is in Florida, Kansas, which is just 4 hours away from me. In fact, when I took the class, there was a guy all the way from South Africa in that class with me, learning how to hand engrave. There was another girl from North Canada. I think there was a guy from Japan too. They come from all over the world. I mean, for the fact that it was just 4 hours away from me was very convenient.
People say there's nothing in Kansas.
Again, and the guy who taught me how to, the old dog, as I call him, who taught me some tricks of his own, was also in Kansas. He was on the other side of Kansas, but he was also there too. I actually did not have to travel very far. There are schools in Texas and California you can learn this stuff that are really, really good. But really, the best stuff, when it comes to this kind of work, the best stuff you teach yourself. You really do. You learn the basics. You practice, hundreds of hours of practice. You will get frustrated at times. Sometimes you might even want to give up because it just gets insane. It gets ridiculous. Especially you look at what other people can do, and you're looking at your own work, and you wonder, should I even bother? But you just got to keep going. You gotta you got to have diligence. You just can't give up, and you will develop your own style, and you'll really create something amazing. But you got to be persistent.
Sounds like that could be applied to all art forms.
That is true. That is very true. Yes. Any other questions? Yes.
Okay, you said you'd like to work with gems more. What would be your top choice for gem to work with, and what do you think you would apply it to?
Well, for this particular thing, I usually, during my day job, which is I work for my father at his jewelry store during the day. That's an 8-hour job, and then I do the pony thing at night from 5:30 to midnight on average. During the day job, I'm used to working with high quality gemstones, diamonds, rubies, sapphires, kind of pricey. One thing I have to keep in mind when I'm making this stuff is it has to be pretty affordable. So most of my designs, I'm starting to incorporate rhinestones in, the foil back rhinestones, because they have a lot of sparkle, a lot of brilliance, and at the same time they're affordable. And I just I want more sparkle, I want more bling to my work. And I do intend to have some new designs out that have that to them. Yes?
On that line, I would recommend for quartz crystals, because as you can tell, they've got a lot of shiny to them. And my question is, what's the hardest pony-related piece you've ever made?
You know, it is a tie between Summer's Crown and the Element of Magic Tiara. I don't know if anyone's seen my commission list, but I have a line there that says, no crowns or tiaras, no exceptions. I literally pulled some hair out doing those things. The problem, my roommate.
Thanks a lot.
The problem with crowns and tiaras is my equipment is designed, everything in my shop is designed to make things that are the size of a belt buckle or smaller. Headpieces like crowns and tiaras have proven to be quite a challenge to make with this kind of equipment. And it was, you reminded me of that month, that long, gruesome month making those. It was insane. Yeah, it would definitely be a tie between those two. Now, if you don't count those, I think one of my most challenging designs to do is probably the alicorn amulet. It's a little involved, and what's ironic about the design is it's one step in this design that throws me off every single time. The rest of it I can do in my sleep. The knife edge on the bottom of it, that knife edge, I cannot do it very easily. Every time I try to design one, I end up wasting probably 3 or 4 of those blanks before I finally get it just right. Because you gotta hold that thing in 4 different angles to get it like that, and you gotta do it right the first time on a machine that heats up the piece to the point where it's really burning your fingers. So if you have to quench it in water and do it again, you gotta try to reposition it the same way. It's insane. And my father, who's been doing it for 40 years, sometimes will try to help me with it, and even he will be like, ugh. So either the crowns or the amulet, whichever. Any other questions?
What made you think of ChaoticBrony as a name?
You know, it was actually a very interesting, I told you I came up with the name in one night in a hotel room in Emporia, Kansas, when I was learning how to do grave. I was actually sitting there thinking about it, and originally I was wanting to go with my nickname, which is Boog, B-O-O-G, Boog, and I was going to go with Chaotic Boog. And I was thinking to myself, but let's say hypothetically, people start to get to know who I am, and I do make a little bit of a name for myself. I was like, I know the first thing that's going to drive me absolutely nuts, because it does. I said, everyone's going to mispronounce Boog. They're going to say Chaotic Boog. It's Boog, Chaotic Boog. And I was like, I know it'll happen because people always mispronounce it. So I said, well, let's think of something else. I had the B word in my mind. I said, okay, something with the B, something simple, something that's easy to read, easy to pronounce. There's a lot of names, there's a lot of artists I respect, but I have no idea how to pronounce their names, so I can never remember them. So it's like something easy to remember, something easy to pronounce. So it's the ChaoticBrony. Yeah, all right. That's pretty much as deep as it goes.
That's good to know.
Yes.
You said you were a closeted brony for a while.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, what was, since your dad taught you a lot, like, what was his reaction when you're like, hey, I'm gonna start making jewelry?
Well, he and I went to school together to learn how to hand engrave. And on the drive up there, we talked about this, we talked about that, we talked about this, and I just kind of sat there a while and I was like, you know, I was thinking about making some jewelry in my free time to, you know, maybe earn a little extra money. And he goes, oh yeah, well, what'd you have in mind? I said, well, I found an untapped market. I said, okay, get this. There are these adults called bronies. Now, hear me out. They're adult fans of the cartoon My Little Pony. And he goes, really? I said, yeah. I find this quite intriguing. I just recently learned of it. This was 6 months after I think I've seen every episode to date by then. But I just recently learned of this, and I gotta say, I am quite interested. I found this, you know, he was like, well, what would Hasbro do if he tried something like this? And I said, I don't know. Exactly. Nothing venture, nothing gain. So that's what he thought for a long time. Like, okay, he's doing this part-time job making this stuff, making this pony jewelry. Okay, fine. But as he started seeing my design and seeing my work, he was he was like, oh, that's a nice pendant. What is that? And I was like, oh, well, this pendant, that is called Rarity's Cutie Mark. Or at least I think that's her name. Rarity, is that her name? I was like, yeah, I think that's her name. I don't know. And then I'd be like, and then we would just be talking about it, and I'd be like, and I would always like slip up like that. And they were getting more and more obvious. And then after Canterlot Gardens, I was thinking about how much fun that convention was and how much I wanted to do it again. And I was on the flight home, and I was like, there's no way he's going to think I'm going to 4 or 5 video game conventions a year. So when I went home from Canterlot Gardens, I told him, okay, that wasn't a video game convention I went to. And I pulled out the Canterlot Gardens t-shirt and I said, it's a brony convention. I'm a brony. My parents went, yeah, we kind of figured it out. Okay, and any other questions? Yes, you, Dr. Susan.
What is the hardest thing out either pony stuff or your non-pony stuff that is engraved? Now, you already mentioned that it was the tiaras and stuff like that, but you don't do that as often. Now, on common stuff like for this convention or any other convention or out of convention, what is the hardest thing you usually have to engrave, like watches and compass stuff at the hourglass stuff that you do?
Engrave? Actually, surprisingly, my day job doesn't call for much engraving. I'm kind of disappointed about that. And when it does, my dad usually calls dibs on it because he loves hand engraving as well. So I'm like, hey, I'll try that. It's mine. I'm doing this. You'll mess it up. So it would probably, the hardest thing I probably ever engraved was, okay, I know this one. Okay. It was a commission that I did for someone, and it wasn't pony themed. It was actually, I don't know if anyone's read the Sonic the Hedgehog comics, the Archie comics. Some of you probably might remember issue 50 that was supposed to be the final battle with Robotnik, and then they had the director's cut. Well, in the director's cut, when Sally woke up, they had that kissing scene, that big full-page kissing scene. Well, someone actually asked me to engrave that, as much of it as possible. And I somehow pulled it off. But it was crazy. Okay, we have any other questions? Or? Yes.
What's your favorite technique to use while that will make any type of jewelry, like anything you consider your specialty?
Anything you consider your specialty? Handcrafting in its own. I mean, starting with blank sheets of metal and coils of wire and making them into something is kind of a whole thing of its own. And unfortunately, it's actually kind of a dying art. It was very fortunate because everyone nowadays wants these insane designs, and everything's going computers and 3D models and lost wax casting and mass production, stamping things out. There's all sorts of different ways to make jewelry, and handcrafting is one of them. Like I said, it's a dying art, though, but that would definitely be my favorite alone. That's why most of my stuff you see in my gallery is handcrafted. Yes.
If you had a cutie mark, and maybe you do, I don't know, what would it be?
It would probably be a rose. No, I'm kidding. I actually have an OC silver slinger, and his cutie mark is a silver ring with a red gemstone in it. Pretty simple, but I figured, yeah, that's about covers it. That sums it up. Since most of what I make are cutie mark pendants, I thought it'd be I thought a cutie mark pendant cutie mark would be cool, but I was like, no, that's kind of redundant. Silver ring. You and the Dr. Seuss hat, did you have another question?
I know, Jason, I know. So here's the thing. I just wanted, because I know your opinion on this, but just so everyone, what is it like sometimes when you have to use machine engraved, a machine actually helping you engrave something they just can't do by hand? Like, is it more like a pride thing? Like you can say, oh my gosh, look how great I can get something on an engraved pendant that I can't get by hand? Or is it just like something that you just have to do it that way because either it's way too hard for you to do, or just how often do you have to use the machine in your engraving if you have to at all?
Huh?
Put it this way, how often do you have to use a machine to engrave anything that's pony related?
Sometimes in some of my pieces, has anyone ever seen the Shining Armor cloak pin that I made for, it was a commission? The detail work on the Celestia and Lunas that went around was pretty fine. I couldn't describe it out like I wanted to, so I did have a machine that had the artwork, and it kind of it did a light pre-scribe for me that helped. I do kind of consider it cheating, especially a little bit especially on handcrafted goods. When it comes to my handcrafted goods, I try not to do that stuff too often, because like I said, I really do consider it sort of cheating. But sometimes when you're kind of on a crunch and you can't really afford to mess up, it's a little necessary. Is there any other questions? You peeking in, do you have a question?
Any questions not related to work?
What question do you think that guy would have asked?
Who was best pony? Birdie. Well, any non-jewelry related questions? Any pony related questions? Any questions? Okay, yes.
Favorite episode and why?
Lesson 0 because it's the best. Lesson 0 got me into the fandom. It really did. That was the episode I was like, what is the big deal? And I said, all right. I checked my DVR and I said, I probably don't have the hub, but let's type in my little. Oh, there it is. Okay, well I'll record the next episode and just see what's so great about it, and then go figure it's lesson 0. I mean, you want to say Fate? Yeah, that was Fate. Yes.
With all the fan-made videos that are out there, and Fanimations or just overdubs, what's been your favorite piece of fan video that anyone's made?
Wow.
It's a tough question.
That is a tough.
There's a lot of work.
Fan-made. Are you saying fan-made videos or just videos?
The .movs for some people really like those, or Snowflake, for example. That one gets me to watch
really
it.
Good.
I
don't know how many of you guys like Double Rainbow, but I do think Snowflake was better, and I really like Snowflake.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. I like that one. I would probably say that. I've seen the dot models, but I don't consider them the best just because of how they are. Yeah, kind of.
On the flip side of the favorite episode question, which episode do you think was your least favorite, and what do you think would improve it?
They're all just so good. I really, because I tend to just overlook things that drive other people nuts. So I haven't really saw any episodes that I didn't really care much for. I guess I would have to think when I'm scrolling through the list, which one am I like, maybe next time, maybe next time, every time I go past it. Spike, why don't you answer this one? This isn't me. You answer that one. You did it.
Rainbow Dash's best pony.
It's a weird way to say Ray.
That's a weird way to say Fluttershy.
Oh, here we go.
Them be fighting words, sir. Let's go get our security staff, Peter. You walked out, yes, I scored out of the convention.
Mike's pronouncing Twilight?
Hey, Luna is top princess.
Well,
That's a no-brainer.
That's a fact.
I honestly cannot think of. I'm not saying that all of them were like perfect, but it's really hard to pick one that I just say, I did not care much for that. I really honestly I can't. At least not right now. I'm drawing a blank. I'll probably be laying on the floor tonight, going, I should have said that episode. Yeah.
I can name one that people have constantly given crap that I can't figure out why. Apparently, Mare-de-Well seems to be a least favorite episode throughout the fandom for whatever reason I can't understand.
How dare they? It's wrong, and they should feel wrong, and they're wrong.
But a lot of people seem to not like that episode for some reason. It might just be a vocal minority, but that's the one episode I do see. The people are like, I don't like this episode. I can't figure out why.
Yeah, I like that episode. I mean,
I like Batman's fight.
I guess because of that episode, I did find the whole idea. Rainbow Dash is being kind of arrogant. Let's talk to her about it. Instead of just doing that, I did find it weird that they're like, let's belittle her in front of the town and just make her foolish. That'll show her. That'll teach her. They'll show her. I did find that. I guess I did find that to be a little strange about that episode. They're kind of that answer. Next, yes.
Favorite villain and why?
Chrysalis, and I don't know why. She just is the best villain. Maybe it's because she's always kind of had that. To me, she's always kind of had that Disney villain feel to her, and I like Disney cartoons.
I think so.
Yeah, kind of exactly. Yeah.
I think what makes it feel like a Disney villain is the song.
That too. That is true. When I first saw that episode, the first thing I even thought of when I heard that song was the song from Little Mermaid. When I was like, this seems so familiar. So definitely Chrysalis. And Sweetie Belle is best Kingdom Crusader. Derpy is best background main 6, and Luna is best princess. Yeah, we already determined that. Yes.
Yep. I forgot to always ask you this. What is your favorite comic that you have done? Because you also do comics besides jewelry. What is your favorite comic you've ever done personally? I had to ask you that.
What? Have you done that one yet?
Oh, no, I haven't done that one.
Okay. I have a favorite one.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not even sure I'm going to do that one. We'll see. Even though Somber Stairs is my most popular, with the stairs and the slinky, I really like the list. That idea came to me. The original, when the idea came to me, I was just like, how did I think of that? How did I think of that? I said, I'm not a writer. The original idea, though, was supposed to be Twilight shopping, and Spike would read off her list to her, and he'd be like, what's first on the list? Bonbons? And Bonbon kind of pokes her head out, and it was like, we need some Colgate. But I was like, well, let's go a different approach. And I was like, I never did anything with the background ponies. But that one's my favorite for some reason. I really like that one. I guess I forgot to mention that, but yeah, I do comics. Not as often as I used to. They're more,
Woo! It's good.
The comics have always kind of just been more of a stress reliever for me. When I need to wind down, I sketch them up, I ink them, I throw the storylines together. I haven't updated as much as I used to because I've been drawing on a blank lately. But anyway, yes, to answer your question, The List is my favorite comic.
Comics, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yes.
Being in like the creative aspect of everything, has there been any backlash from Hasbro that you've heard of from anyone?
Not yet, actually. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Hasbro has licensed a company to make jewelry, make pony-themed jewelry. And I actually got a lot of, I did get some backlash from the fandom when that was happening because I left a remark on Equestria Daily that I was just playing around. I said, oh, so Hasbro hired a Flim and Flam to compete against my sweet out Lakers. And I said, okay. I said, well, let the quality speak for itself. And boy, I got razzed. And I intended for it to just be playful banter, but there were some people who did not like it. Now, I will tell you something ironic, though. Like I told you, my dad owns a jewelry store, and he has many wholesalers. And the people that Hasbro has hired to make their jewelry is called World Trade Jewelers. Well, one of my wholesalers goes through them, which means one of my wholesalers may be selling pony jewelry that I can buy wholesale and resell, and there's not a thing Hasbro can do about it.
Loopholes.
If I want to, which we'll see. Yes.
So, obviously, everyone likes, is everyone part of other fandoms besides just My Little Pony, like something like Doctor Who or Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
Like, besides My Little Pony, what's probably your other biggest fandom or inspiration that you like to sink your time into?
Yeah, I guess I'd have to look at video games. I actually did not used to watch very much TV before My Little Pony. In fact, I actually went years without really watching any cartoons before I started getting into My Little Pony. That's actually got me back into them. But I guess I would think of video games. Like I'm a huge Zelda fanatic. I've always been that way. And I also like to play games that no one's ever heard of, like Harvest Moon. I would actually say that. Nice. I would actually say that Harvest Moon is my favorite game in the series. I am hooked on it.
What's your favorite Harvest Moon game? Sorry.
Wow, that is a tough one.
How we're getting into me?
Game?
I'm sorry.
GameCube one is my favorite.
Which one?
The one from the GameCube.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 for
Yeah,
games.
Wonderful Life.
Wonderful
Yeah,
Life.
yes, I was over there.
That one's pretty good. That's a good one. But I would say my favorite's probably for the 64. That one is really good. That's the one that got me hooked on the whole thing. And my mother and my sister. That's another story. Okay, do you have any other questions?
It could be anything.
Alright then, we're gonna play a game.
Uh-oh.
By the way, do you have my pin? The pin that says ChaoticBrony on it that I went to this morning. That's that one. I am going to write down some names of some random characters from the show. Give me a minute.
I'll do the round panel white thing.
Lock the door quick.
I want to find an offensive way. I know it's a horrible thing, but if I could find a racist blonde t-shirt, I would possibly express it.
Yes, I know mine.
Gets offended by everything.
Is this no step one?
Not yet.
Okay. I don't know if any of you joined me. It was about 3 weeks ago in the Pegasisters Live Did anyone catch that? Other than the host, is Can't Pega Sisters Live is. Okay, well, when I did my interview on there, we actually played a little game. It was kind of a 20 questions, but with ponies. Pretty much, people in the audience would ask me a question, a yes or no question, like, is the character a pony? Yes or no? And if I said yes, okay, that takes about 4 or 5 of the characters off the list. Is the pony a unicorn? No. Okay, you know it's not a unicorn. Is it a Pegasus? Yes. And then it would pretty much go on like that until somebody got the name of the pony and they would win the prize. We're going to do it kind of similar to that. How we're going to do it here is you'll raise your hand. You'll get to ask me a question. You'll get to ask me one yes or no question, and then you'll get a guess right after that. If you get it wrong, I'll go on to the next person. I'll try to call on everyone who raises their hand at least once before I start calling people again. And the person who guesses it from me is going to win one of these. This is called a chaotic coin. It is good for $25 off of anything at my booth. And exchange for merchandise only. Don't be bringing this to me asking for cash, because I'm not doing that.
Yeah, about that one.
Right. So I think what we're going to do is I'm actually going to have Specs ask the first yes or no question to start it off, and then you'll raise your hands, and we'll go from there. So, all right, ask me a yes or no question.
Yeah,
I'm going to pull up the first card.
Is the character yellow?
No, so we know it's not for the characters in the show. That helps tremendously. Okay. Yes.
Is the character on the main 6?
No. Now you get a guess.
I
Are you serious?
Emily, he's not allowed to play on Pegasus. I got it on 8, he got it on 2. That's cheating. Nice job, Nick.
That was incredible.
No one said it.
He's probably looking at my shit.
All right, new round. We got 2 more rounds to do.
Already?
All right, that was the easy
Went by so fast.
Does the character have a mane?
Ask me another one, man. Are you serious? Okay. I don't need dog collars. Yours.
Is the character a unicorn? Is the character male? Is the character female?
Is the character male?
Let's try that. I don't want to make it too easy.
No. Okay. So the character is not male. Yes.
Is the character a Pegasus?
No. You get a guess though.
Bonbon?
Oh, it's Ira.
Is it an earth pony?
No.
Tricky?
No.
No.
Yes.
Is it an alicorn?
No.
Bird?
No. Pleasure.
is the character even a pony?
Even a pony.
No.
Spike?
No. Trying to do this in order here. I think it's like you're using next.
Does the character have wings?
Yes.
Chrysalis?
No. In the back?
Yeah. Is the character a pet?
No.
Oh! Wow! I can't remember. Dude, hang on, I think I have something, but I can't think of the words.
Gilda.
Gilda! Is it Gilda? Success!
Congratulations.
Oh, he's like,
All right.
achievement gets.
Well, I was actually expecting this to go a lot longer. I didn't know someone was going to get the first one. So let's, all right, you got another round?
Woo!
Hey, Kelly, how's it going?
Pretty good.
You survived OPU as well.
Yeah, what are you doing on my panel, man?
Wait, there's a panel going on here?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Okay, let's start a new round. forget him. Okay, let's just start with the audience here. New round. Over here.
Is it part of the main six?
No.
No?
Come on, that'd be way too easy.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you get a guess. I'm sorry.
Derpy?
No. Yes.
Is it a pony?
Say again.
Is it a pony?
Yes.
Final scratch?
No. All right, Dr. Seuss.
Is the character male?
No.
God. Cloud Chaser. Why not?
No.
Is character ever spoken?
Yes. Good question.
That's questions. Hey, Macintosh?
No.
Is the character Wonderbolt?
Yes.
Oh.
Wait a minute. You already won. Yes.
Is the character orange?
Say again.
Is the character orange?
Just say it.
Spitfire.
Don't sound so excited about winning.
Me too. I was
Sam, you got it. You got it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hi. Not a whole lot. I just finished the game. This guy won one of these. A chaotic coin is good for $25 at my booth.
There you go. That's a personal gift from me. Who's I say? I got something from Peter New.
You know, his name escapes me, but this guy, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a hand. Please no car, ladies and gentlemen. Wait.
Alright, well, I just came to say hi. Just wanted to see what was happening in here, but it's kind of hard to walk in here. Because you're at the front, right from the beginning.
We,
So there's no sneaking in.
you just missed a very fun game. Actually, why don't you go and do another round? I might just give away things for my dude. Specs, hold up that main 6-pin that you're wearing there. I'm not going to give away yours, don't worry. I got more of them. Okay, I don't know if you guys seen this at my, I don't know if you've seen it on my DeviantArt page, but it is actually, it's a main 6 engraved pin that has the entire main 6 on it, with their key marks on the back, with a rhinestone border. We'll do another round. Whoever wins this round can come to my booth tomorrow and claim that prize. I'm going to write down the guy. Or pony.
I'm so sorry.
I own too many things of his already. You're good at this.
I'll try to.
Yes, I'm going to try to
One at
Okay.
Yeah, I want this.
Swag.
And doors are cool.
All right, I got a character. Let's start this. Yes.
Is the character an Earth Pony?
No.
Let's see. Lightning Dust.
No.
Is the character blue?
No. You get a guess though. You get a guess now.
Is it Big Macintosh?
Nope. Wait a minute. I don't have to pay you like a quarter now or anything, do I? For doing it? Okay.
Hasbro takes care of it for me.
Okay. Next question. I believe you raised your hand here. Okay. Yeah, it's not Big Macintosh. Okay. Yes.
Is the character a pony?
No. Wait. No.
Gummy?
No.
Gummy. That's sense.
Yeah.
Is the character a reptile?
No.
Score up.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Here, just drop my booth tomorrow. Yeah, okay.
Oh my god, he is on the
Force pass. I think anything else. It's not a wash.
Not a watch. pen.
What's that?
You have a pen.
I have a beautiful ChaoticBrony pin that's got my name on it, and it's very fingerprinted. No, I got those character pins. They're the single character pins. I have over 30 characters, including Big Macintosh. And I tell you what, person who wins this next one can pick out a character of their choice on a change of their choice. Hey, I got an idea. Here, you're right.
Previous winners?
Yeah, don't let anyone see.
To be a real character?
Yeah, that'd be nice in the show. That'd be really nice. Not that one.
That'll kill some time.
All right. One more. Yes.
Character opponent. Is the character opponent?
No.
No. Is it Chrysalis?
What was that?
Chrysalis?
No. Yes.
Is the character a pet?
No.
Cranky Doodle?
Nope.
No.
Dang it.
Toad?
Okay, you won again, but I'll let you go.
Is the character an antagonist?
Yeah.
Stephen Magnet.
Oh wait, he is.
All right. You and the label.
Does the character have wings?
You say it again?
Does the character have wings?
Oh, wings now.
Gummy?
No.
Gummy's the greatest.
Yeah, and just to repeat the last question, it is an antagonist. So.
Gummy is the greatest people.
Okay. I guess that's arguably a good point. Yes. Blue?
Hang on, I'll go ask.
Is it blue?
Is the character blue?
Is the character blue?
No.
No.
Here.
You get a guess.
You get a guess. Take a guess.
I don't know.
No idea?
No.
No guess? No guess. So no guess? No guess.
Anyone else? Yes, you.
Is it a male? What?
You know what? I'm gonna say maybe.
Everybody's like already like, I got it.
I don't know. Is it a changeling?
No.
No.
Oh.
You had your.
Can I just say it if I already know?
Go for it.
Paris Rights.
No.
Oh. So the dude with the fedora goes next.
All right.
Does the character actually have a name?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a name.
Okay.
The Hydra?
No.
No, not Hydra. Yes.
Has the character been in more than one episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Discord?
No.
No. Actually, the person behind you had the name.
Is it of some kind of royalty?
No.
I
No.
was gonna say Princess Celeste.
Exactly what I said.
No.
No.
Does the character have a beak?
No.
So it's not the cactus.
No.
No. Okay.
Is the character slimy?
No.
Okay, I don't get it. Someone can have my guess.
I have a guess.
You have a guess?
You can have my guess.
No, it's not.
You have a pleasure?
Is it made out of wood?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, tomorrow night we're going to pick out any character, single character pin into your choice.
Actually,
Okay, that is going to be the end of this panel. Hey, I thank you all very much for coming. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
ChaoticBrony, everybody.